Let me give you the premise of this word. I met a man yesterday, Jamaican guy, meets me and we start talking. And he tells me that he went from Jamaica to England, and he went from England to the UAE in search of treasure and something else. Fame and treasure. Yeah. He went in search of fame and treasure. He hasn't found either. And so we start a philosophical discussion. That's me. I like to have philosophical discussions with people. And I said to him, he's a teacher. So I said, well, you may have found fame and just didn't realize you have. Because in every lesson, for however length that lesson is, you are famous to your students. They must stop everything they're doing to listen to you. When they see you down the corridor, a lot of the children will greet you. Good morning, sir. Hi, sir. Is that not what happens to famous people, celebrities? Yeah. In each school year, you are known by approximately 100 people in the school. And if you stay in that school for a while, you are known by quite a lot of people. Children know you, parents know you, colleagues know you. If that's not fame, I don't know what that is. We both giggle over it. In terms of fortune, well, I don't know about you, but where I started in my early 20s is certainly not where I am right now. Obviously, I'm nowhere near where I want to be. I am nowhere near where I want to be. I want to put that on record. Nowhere near where I want to be. However, where I am right now is also miles away from where I used to be. So if you came in pursuit, and I was in pursuit of fame and treasure too. In my case, the fame was just an accidental development. I was after treasure. And if we are actually conscious, I have found treasure, not in the type that I thought I would. And we get into a very deep conversation. I want to share that with you. I was talking to him about incremental progress. And the fact that most of us do not even recognize the progress we've made ourselves. And also, the breakthrough a lot of us are looking for is generational. It's not one generation. It's a long resistance, again, a deeply entrenched oppression. And so you will weaken the shackles. You may not break them completely, but you weaken the shackles and you make the resistance of your next generation a whole lot easier. And I was telling him my father's story. My father was a farmer's son. My grandparents were farmers, stark illiterate farmers, in a corner that nobody knew. Their tribe did not have respect. Their tribe, they had money. Adequate money to live like good peasants, but that's about it. My maternal grandmother had the dream to break free of those shackles, to bring some respect to their name and to their corner. And so they sent their youngest son to go to England to go and learn. My father in England would not have looked like he was actually making much progress against much. Yeah, he was getting educated, but most people just saw some black dude from Africa. Even those who were fascinated by his intelligence, they were fascinated by his intelligence because they probably did not anticipate that he will be so incredibly intelligent as who he is. Most people were fascinated by him. My dad had so many stories about professors who would not even let their daughters talk to him. And yeah, he was nowhere near good material. My dad had arrived in England bottom of the pile. He did not even have good shoes. He did not have good shoes. He needed to fill his shoes with newspaper curtains. I mean, to be honest, the people who did not want their daughters to go anywhere near that guy were also not too wrong, because that guy was a sinking ship. And if you jumped in, he would sink with you. Zubairu, my dad stayed the course. My dad got his PhD in philosophy. He became Dr. Manson. Put some damn respect to his name. But I can tell you now, as Dr. Me, the title alone does not bring some of the things that you anticipate the title will bring. And in my dad's case, it brought some things to him, but not other things. My dad fought a good fight. My dad weakened the shackles in many domains. He did not break them. He could not break them, because those shackles were not established in one generation. One man in one generation can lay the foundations to the breaking of the shackles, but it's unlikely that one man or one woman in one generation is going to completely annihilate the systemic and endemic shackles that have held generations before you down and are ready to bolt you to the floor too. It's unlikely that one generation of resistance will break them off completely. In my dad's case, he did not. Enter the stage, me. The circumstances of my birth were decent. The realities of my childhood were humbling. But you see, in the realities of my childhood that I tell you are humbling were a huge improvement on the realities both of my parents had. I was starting the resistance from a place of weakened shackles. I was at least Dr. Manson's daughter. I at least enjoyed some of the proceeds of the resistance my father had put up. I was not an uneducated man's daughter. And in my case, my mother, whose parents was also illiterate, also managed to move herself to become a master's degree holder. So I was the daughter, I am the daughter of a master's degree holder and a PhD holder. You see, my odds are completely different from what my parents enjoyed. The type of background that I was born into is completely transformed from the background my parents were born into. In some of the knowledge that my parents had acquired, they put me through some really good schools and gave me a very solid background in education. They set me up to do better than them. And so for me, the shackles of a capped earning that my parents both faced. Hey, Sister Lorna, my parents both had their glass ceilings set in terms of earnings, in terms of, socioeconomic status and whatever. They've done well for themselves socially, but they still had chips on their shoulder that I don't have. And you know what is actually even funny? I look at myself and I see my own limits too. There are so many things that I couldn't do. There are so many things that I have also fought. I have moved to transport myself from a working class socio-economic background, and my kids will tell you that they are not working class. And it's true. It's taken me a long time to understand my children. I've talked to my children, we've argued forwards and backwards, and my children are damn intelligent people. Zoe, my children are not working class. My children are middle class. How did my children become middle class? My children became middle class because of 2 generations of a crazy fight. My parents put on a damn good fight, and I have continued it. I've continued it with all my might, with everything I have had. And yes, we have seen some traction. And so I stepped up on my parents' shoulders and I reached a bit higher. I made my shoulders available for my children to step, and they are going higher. The frustrations I had as a child, my children never had. The social limitations that I had, some of my social limitations are not chips my children have on their shoulder. My children are walking. My parents put me to good schools. But those good schools that I was put through are not comparable to the good schools my children have attended. The kind of social strata that my children have got set up for them is nowhere near the social strata I got. In 2 generations, just 2 generations, my parents' generation and mine, we have managed to move from a whole different dynamic to being peasants, illiterate peasants in a corner, to becoming quite respectable, solid, educated pedigree. My children will tell you their grandfather was a doctorate degree holder. Their mother is a doctorate degree holder. They have an aunt who is a doctorate degree holder. They have grand uncles left, right, and center with doctorate. You see, things have changed. Collectively, a few generations down, things have changed. What has caused the change? It's the individual resistance. But the individual resistance did not yield the immediate traction for the benefit of the actual protagonists. Nope. It was passed down generations. You shall break free, but maybe not yourself. Somebody down your line may break free. The free you want may not be within reach, but you can get some freedom. You do. I don't think my mother could have done what I have done recently, quit her job, have her earnings taken, have things withheld from her the way things have been withheld from me the last 4 to 6 weeks, and been able to sustain herself the way I have. But I've just done it. That is the financial freedom that my parents hoped for and never had. That is the financial freedom even I had been working towards and didn't think I had until recently. So you do make progress, and this was the point I was making to that guy. You do make progress. You do not disrespect your hustle like that. Coming from Jamaica to England, he came from Kingston. To come from Kingston to come to the United Kingdom is a whole transformation. The acquisition of a British passport is a change for the generations. The freedom of movement you will get from just that change is significant. Most of us, after a while, forget these things. Becoming a teacher in the United Kingdom, getting the qualified teacher status, which is a benchmark for a lot of people internationally. I think QTS is a big deal for so many people. You have it and you forget about it. Getting a job and sustaining your job. Getting a job in teaching. Maybe gold. Getting a job in teaching may not have made you a rich man, but getting a job in teaching would have changed your earning bracket, at least for me. The type of jobs that I did before I came to teaching, and the type of effort it took to earn some of the monies that are your baseline salaries in teaching. Insane. But after you've been here a little while, it is human nature to forget. It is human nature to forget. And so I had forgotten. I had not respected my hustle enough. Funnily, the people who remind me of this the most are my children. My children tell me all the time, Mama, you've got to actually respect what you've done a little bit more, because what you've done is amazing. And you do need to sit down and think about it. The freedom I envisage probably will be seen by my children and their children. But the resistance that I have put up has also benefited me. I never thought that I had money in my systems to be able to quit my job and still sustain. But it turns out that I did. Some of those discoveries are surprises. And some things need to remind you in order for you to remember to respect your achievements. That's true. Mika, good morning. Whether you appreciate what you have done or not, there are elements to the effect of some of the things that you have done that are not going to be for you to see. Why? Because progress is generational. And just as poverty was generational, the fact that you are poor now is not only as a result of just you and your choices. You know that's right. The poverty you feel now is a result of all your ancestors and the choices they made and didn't make. My grandmother's decision to not be a poor peasant anymore is the reason why I am not a poor peasant, but she still did not change status herself. My grandmother was sick and tired of being illiterate. My dad was not illiterate, but his mother died an illiterate. She couldn't change a lot of the things that were in her circumstances already. But her vision has transformed lives. Certainly my father's life, was definitely mine. Oh, and incredibly my children. My children never met their grandmother, my father's mother, but her vision has transformed their lives. In the same way, irresponsible choices made by one person in your lineage will knock on onto another person in your lineage, which will also affect more people in your lineage. It will predispose you to certain situations, which will also confine you to certain decisions. Yeah. When you understand dispositions, a lot of things make sense. There are certain things that predispose you to certain things. Ooh, people are on a school trip. Ooh, I like it. I like it. I need to find out who's going on these school trips. It's been a long time since I went on a big school trip with buses and overnight bags and the rest of it. Especially when you're going across territories and zones. Yeah. Yeah. Poverty was not caused by one man. And so redemption will not be caused by one man. I know so many of you think that the poverty you feel is because of you. No, those things happened way before you were even considered. And so the break free is also going to take much more than just you. I think that realization brings you a certain reassurance. It does. That realization should bring you a reassurance. Anyway, let me love you. Let me leave you. Let me go and pursue some of those shackles. Let me break some of those shackles if I can. And if I can't, let me weaken some foundations. Yeah, I need to weaken some foundations. I need to shake some foundations. Yeah, I need to transform some outcomes. So I wish you the best of luck today in your fight. I want you to understand, you may not break the shackles, but you may weaken them. And you will increase the likelihood of people after you completely breaking it. So even if you don't break the shackles, know that your resistance would have made it easier for those who come after you. And for that, you've got to be very respectful of your contribution and mindful of it. I'll see you at the end of the day on my way to my appointments. Today I have quite a few appointments. So on my way in between, I'm sure we will talk. Catch you soon.